self-scan, self-check-in, what I do is I guide us with the breath into going within ourselves. You can close your eyes for the practice, of course. And as I guide us with the breath, we just go through and observe our mental, and then we observe our emotional, and then we observe our physical. All right, so the 11th ray, the pink-orange ray of illuminated truth. This ray is a ray of divine love. Its orange-pink luminosity radiates the qualities of compassion, mercy, balance, love for all, honesty, fulfillment. The monumentous planetary initiation and personal transmogrification is occurring now, the return of the Holy Mother Sophia, through her emanation as the divine solar feminine Christo Sophia.
They teach us to replace our sense of injustice with a supreme trust in the ultimate resolution of divine love. And I feel like we all need to be reminded of that so much. One of my favorite quotes from Chamuel and Charity is actually from Masters in the Retreats. They say, quote, "If you will invite us, we will come home with you. We will help you with difficult family situations, even help you find a job or a parking place," end quote. And I just really love that. It's just a perfect picture of how accessible and tender their love really is. They're just right there with us. And did you know that Chamuel was also involved in a pivotal event in history? It was this archangel who released the edict that confounded the tongues of the fallen ones at the Tower of Babel.
So peach moonstone is good for emotional balance, self-love, fertility, hormonal health. Helps with self-love and acceptance. It soothes emotional turmoil, reduces anxiety, and a sense of calmness is promoted. It also embraces a positive outlook. Give some gratitude. Take a moment to cut the cord. Tap in and tune in. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. Live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight. Your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe. Hello, hello, Grand Rising, everybody, or Grand Day to you, depending on where you are in this moment. Thank you guys all for tapping in, tuning in to this episode of Grand Rising with ChristoLight. Continuing into this journey, we left off, as you guys saw, on the 11th ray of light. And with the 11th ray, we were diving into the orange and pink ray, which can also be kind of like a peach ray as well. And this ray of light was to help remind us of our etheric connection. And that etheric connection is our connection to our creativity along with unconditional love. And that is what that ray represented, the 11th ray. So now we're going to go ahead and continue and dive into our 12th ray of light. And with the 12th ray, let's take a look.
You need to watch this if you're seeking a higher vibe morning routine. Why are there not more people talking about the golden ray? This is the energy shift you didn't know you needed. The 12th ray of divine light. The golden ray. Illumination, spiritual awakening, pure joy. Imagine starting your day infused with the golden energy of ChristoLight, radiating positivity, higher consciousness. The golden ray isn't just a color, it's a frequency. It upgrades your spirit and mindset. As you rise, visualize golden light streaming into your heart, filling you with confidence and love. This isn't just spiritual talk, it's a practice to ground yourself. Release negativity, shine from within. Every grand rising is a new chance. Align with your highest self using the golden ray. Tomorrow morning, take a deep breath. Tap into that golden energy. Let your day unfold with purpose and light. Ready to rise with the golden ray? Hit subscribe for more.
All right. So today we're going to talk about the good old infamous golden ray of divine light. And this golden ray of divine light, we have probably all heard, sensed, seen in some type of fashion throughout our life. Whether it's talking about just golden divine energy, or you think about Egypt and their illustrious history, or you think about teachers like Jesus or Yeshua or the golden Buddha, and they all emanate this golden frequency that we are about to dive into in depth today. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do our self-scan, self-check-in, as we always do, so we can help be present and give ourselves some attention mentally, emotionally, and physically with our own breath. So for this practice, for those of you that are new and just tuning in, the self-scan, self-check-in is basically a very simple, meditative, introspective practice where I guide us into going within ourselves, and I guide us with the breath, and then we use our breath to observe the mind, where we release any mental attachments, any limiting beliefs, or negativity in our mind. Then we'll go into the emotions, breathing and helping release any stagnant emotions, any dense emotions like anger, pain, fear. And then we'll move into the physical body, breathing into our blood, our cells, our muscles, and other ailments that we may have presently. So with that being said, you can sit, lay down, or if you have to be active and you're in the middle of doing something, just allow yourself to mentally tune in and use your breath a little bit as you can. So for that, we'll be back in 44. All right. So with that, go ahead and get comfortable. And we are going to get into our self-scan, self-check-in. And we have here a new tool for us to use. We got this beautiful, what feels like a more battle drum-like shamanic drum. Let you take a look at the back as well. Pretty cool. So we're going to use this drum with our self-scan, self-check-in today to help ignite some more of those golden rays within us. So let's go ahead and begin. Checking with our posture, making sure we have our back straight if we're sitting. Relaxing our shoulders down to the side. Relaxing our feet, relaxing our fingers. And then lastly, relaxing our jaw, making sure we're not clenching our teeth. Now we're going to bring focus to the breath. Hydration check for everybody. Clean water. All right, now for the breath. We're going to breathe in through the nose, drawing the breath down the body, and exhaling out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, down the body, exhaling out of the mouth. One more time. Deep breath in. And exhale. Now go ahead and continue to focus on the breath throughout this session, as it'll bring relief, releasing, and love and light. Let's go ahead and begin. You may close your eyes and continue to breathe. As we breathe, we begin to observe our mind, our mental body. As we begin to observe and not absorb or judge, we observe our mind to see if we have present any negative thought patterns about the future, about ourselves, about others. Observing in the mind, are we mentally attached to people in the past, relationships, places, experiences, or versions of who we are? Breathing and releasing for mental clarity. As we continue to breathe with the breath, the mind becomes more balanced and more clear. As we continue to breathe, we now make our way into feeling our emotional body, tuning in with our emotions. As we observe our emotions, are we stagnant in our emotional field? Are we maybe feeling overwhelmed by our emotions and the rate that our emotions are coming through? Perhaps maybe we aren't feeling our emotions enough, and we feel blocked from having emotions or afraid to feel them. Have we been suppressing our voice? Have we been suppressing our honesty or our creative gifts? from shining and expressing. So may we breathe and let go so we can become more fluid. Breathing and releasing pain, anger, resentment, fear. I am love. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am capable. I am filled with the gifts of divine light. As we breathe, we now make our way to our physical body, observing our physical body, breathing into any ailments that we have currently in our life, into our cells, our blood, our muscles, ligaments, tissue, bones, and beyond. Breathing the breath of life to these physical aspects, regenerating and consciously igniting its intelligence and electrical system. Take a listen. Does your body tell you this moment? Conscious intelligence, to heal itself? Does it need more hydration, vitamins and minerals and nutrition? We need to eliminate what we are consuming. Do we need to stretch? Do we need to stretch? Be more active? Do we need to rest and recharge? Whatever it may be for you, may we honor it for the highest good. Regulating the nervous system and bringing harmony to our foundation for this physical world on earth. Now taking a moment with yourself to be still, follow your breath, and tune in to your new balance, mind, body, and emotion. All right. So take your time, opening your eyes and coming back to your body. And take a moment and check out the wonderful retreat coming up here in Ohio here in 2 weeks.
Why do so many seekers say their lives changed after one weekend in nature? Could a drum beat really open your heart? Come find out at Soul Family Rising. On September 13th and 14th, journey with us to Lake Hope in the heart of Zaleski State Forest, Ohio, for a 2-night elemental drum medicine retreat like no other. Surrounded by ancient trees and fresh air, you'll step into a true soul family, where connection, healing, and laughter are all part of the rhythm. Our flow shops are led by an incredible team, Christina Cheyenne of Sacred Vibrations, Victoria Ann Ilg, Heather Lynn of Heart Alchemy Wellness, and Marcus ChristoLight of Sacred Light. They'll guide you in elemental practices that bring balance and clarity, tapping into earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. Plus, don't miss our special guest, Chuck Wilson of Walkin' Drums, a master shamanic drum maker whose drum flow shop is truly unforgettable. Whether you're new to drumming or a seasoned spirit traveler, you'll feel the power of rhythm to awaken and heal. All meals, blessed with love and gratitude by Grandmother Katie's Singing Eagle, are included, with vegetarian options so everyone feels nourished. Bring your kids, your parents, your friends. This retreat is truly family-friendly, with ages 8 and under free, 9 to 16 just $20, and adults only $55 for the whole weekend. Camping, meals, flow shops, all covered. Just bring yourself, an open heart, and a sense of wonder. Space is limited, so register now by scanning the QR code or visiting the link on our flyer. Questions? Text Marcus ChristoLight at 513-238-5580. This September, let's rise together. Your soul family is waiting.
All right. So yes, you guys can still sign up for that retreat coming up in 2 weeks in Hocking Hills area at Lake Hope in the middle of the state forest. Elemental workshops, drum healing, and you also get to sit and learn from a shamanic drum maker as well. $55 only, very affordable, camping, meals provided, healing workshops. So with that, let's go ahead and get started and talk about this 12th ray, the golden ray of light. So the 12th golden ray of unity consciousness by Nancy Robbins, Robbins. It's so funny. The Robbins family, huh? So this golden ray contains sparkles of opalescent white and is also known as the ray of universal consciousness, Christ consciousness, or the cosmic consciousness of truth. It is a frequency of divine light that emanates from the great central sun of our universe. When you connect with the great central sun through the golden ray of unity consciousness, you connect with the highest aspect of your soul, which resides in oneness with all souls. The ultimate purpose of the golden ray is to assist souls in their journey back to the one, but on a more mundane level. It manifests the qualities of peace, harmony, creativity, and unconditional love. It also balances the divine feminine and masculine energies within. It is the ray of God that blends the physical with the spiritual, combining heaven and earth. It assists soul integration, ascension, transformation, transfiguration, and rebirth. The golden ray brings you into the now, helping you gain clarity and inner knowing, while opening your connection to be guided by your higher self. This ray heralds the new golden age, where people recognize the truth of their divinity and new beginnings on a new earth. It is Christ consciousness and divine love that unites all rays of light and brings these frequencies from the great central sun to earth to be anchored there. It is a complete surrender of the old self, an acceptance of being born as a new higher identity. It expands the perception and understanding of who you are to see yourself in the bigger picture as you discover more of your skills, gifts, and divine inner magic. As you expand to include more of your higher potential, as you emerge with your higher self. What past life skills are awaiting to be brought into your awareness and activated? What greater knowledge and understanding is to be obtained? How does that expand the understanding of yourself? What revelation of truth is to be revealed. What role do you have as a galactic citizen? Not an Earth citizen, but a galactic citizen. This ray of golden luminosity empowers you. It unites all your soul's skills and wisdom by raising your conscious awareness to the fullness of who you are within all your dimensional aspects beyond the limits of your 3D perspective and experience, so that you can create your own reality. You can take ownership of your own personal power and consciously create the experience that you choose. It provides the higher wisdom and empowerment to move you into the higher potential and ascend, to eventually unite with your spiritual light. This ray supports your development of your higher potential of becoming your higher self. It also serves the creation of the golden age and the new earth. This is the next era of living for humanity and for Earth, the age of Aquarius. Unity consciousness. Currently live in a world of duality. It's a world of polarity consciousness that shapes the view of the world. It leads us into fear and right and wrong, black and white. It creates a response of fight or flight. Though it helps us in finding meaning and reference for our experiences, it also places a severe handicap on the ability to perceive. We see and hear in a narrow bandwidth. Our beliefs are strongly shaped and limited by our family and society's beliefs. We think in a dualistic model that creates extreme polarity. However, we are beings of unlimited potential. Duality consciousness makes it possible, or makes it impossible, for us to comprehend the vastness of creation, the fullness of who you truly are. It keeps us locked in the 3D matrix. Our true nature of existence is a multidimensional reality that consists of both our 3D duality consciousness and 5D unity consciousness. The physicality we experience is only an illusion, and consciousness is what defines how we interact with the dimension we reside in at present. In total, there are 12 dimensions, each with their own unique characteristics. They exist as levels for us to ascend by raising our vibration to become a match for that frequency they operate on. This is how we continue on our path of evolution. It isn't only through taking on new physical traits to adapt to our environment. True evolution is the evolution of consciousness. We are currently moving from 3D to 4D to 5D consciousness. In the lower 3D dimension, we incarnate into physical bodies to experience creativity and manifestation. In this physical form, we feel the separation of our physical self with others, but that doesn't take into account the totality of our being as spiritual beings. Unity consciousness is the law of one, that we all are from the same single source of creation. We are all aspects of the same whole. Unity consciousness is the embodiment of pure, unconditional love. And once we ascend, we can more fully feel the enormity of what it means to be connected as one. Just like the 10th pearlescent ray of the light body and the 11th pink-orange ray of illuminated truth, this ray associates with the higher spiritual chakra, divine creativity chakra, also known as the stellar gateway, which harmonizes your divine masculine and feminine and helps awaken your skills and wisdom for lifetimes and integrates them into your whole self to assist your expansion into higher dimensional states and well-being. Within this chakra, you can really feel the higher emotional comfort and nurturing presence of divine love that heals and strengthens your understanding that all is love. The power of the heart is magical, a powerful force of healing, and this ray helps us to unlock more of our heart's power. It helps unite your many aspects into a wholeness that is empowering. Wow, pretty fascinating. So we'll move into Ascended Masters and Guides here in a moment. We're actually going to slide on over to Ascension Glossary and read about the Gold Order. So the Gold Order, the second emanation of the primal sound field, which represents the second individualization of the God Source, is the Gold Order, a part of the Cosmic Trinity, threefold flame. The second light manifestation of the Gold Order are Gold Ray orders of Seraphim, Ceres, Avian, and the Athenian lines that are the Solar Rishi, which incarnated in the fourth harmonic universe on Lyra Vega through the 10th universal stargate. Sound tones. The Gold Order is visual and lends to be connected to the white halo, glowing gold and silver showers. Mixtures of some faint colors wrapped in primarily bright light golden halos. The Seraphi lineages are very responsive to all visual stimulus, and which multiplies in Ra tones or Ha-Ra tones. So yeah, you guys, I'm sure, are very familiar with the Egyptian figure or the Egyptian god Ra, as we call him. And Ra is a sound tone vibration of this universe. And then that Ra tone emanates into different light and forms that represents the sound octave of Ra from the divine source. So Ra is not exactly an individual being. Ra is a sound octave in our universe that manifests itself through many different forms to keep the purpose and the coding of what it represents throughout this universal matrix. And that is why Ra is such a prominent figure in our human psyche. You think about the Eye of Ra, you think about Ra as the sun, you think about all these different relations to Ra and that royal, rich connection of the golden energy. And if you guys are ever interested, on Wednesdays I go live with Sandy Marshall out of California, and we actually read the book, The Raw Material, Law of One. And that is something you guys can tune into. You guys can go on the YouTube channel, go to playlist, Sacred Light Broadcast Network, and there's a whole entire playlist, about 70 episodes. So continuing, the guardian host and their families are synonymous with the Christos, elders of Crystal Star, the Lyran Syrian founders, the Holy Emerald Order, Gold Order Ra Confederacy, the Amethyst Order of the Ancient Master Builders, and the archetypes that are stemming from the Master Christos collective that protect the Law of One, which is the ascending path to GSF. GSF is God sovereign free. For any being to be able to ascend, evolve their consciousness, and exist as God, sovereign and free. All right. So that is the golden ray of divine light. So now, with that being said, we're going to take a little break for a moment. And I have another retreat as well coming up. That is in October 17 and 19. This one's going to be a very one-of-a-kind, rare opportunity where I'm going to have a Peruvian shaman from Peru. He will be doing some plant medicine, and some other beautiful medicine ceremonies. And then we will also be having a live music lineup, conscious rap artists, conscious alternative rock, beautiful down to earth music. And then we'll have healing workshops with shamanic and wonderful divine sister practitioners, and then homemade cooked meals from our indigenous chef, our wonderful Cherokee sister, Grandma Katie Sing Eagle. So take a look. There's a very beautiful retreat coming up in October, and it is limited spaces. So if you are interested, make that step and at least ask me questions and ignite the conversation.
Experience the transformative power of ancient healing traditions. Welcome to a unique retreat where generations come together to heal and grow. From October 17th to 19th, just outside Cincinnati, dive into a rare generational healing retreat with camping hosted by ChristoLight of ChristoLight. This retreat is part of the Ancient Medicine Retreat series, featuring the honorable sacred guest, Peruvian shaman Don Eduardo with his wife, and his incredible team that includes Kevin Standing Elk, Jonathan Hernandez, Ashley Ballard, and Chris Rust. Join us for sacred ceremonies, flow shops, and one-on-one healing sessions led by skilled sacred space holders like Violet Lyrafe, Donnie Yvette, Mandy Schmidt, Jean Wilkerson, Cecily Simpson, and Angelic Ray. Feel the energy shift as you immerse yourself in holistic well-being. Bask in the healing power of live music from artists like Amber Echo, Shay Brown, Evan Sturgeon of Sturgeon Friends, Emerald Alliance, Aura de Prophet, and Illuminati Congo. And let's not forget the fire and flow arts that will light up our nights. Nourish your soul with delicious plant-based meals prepared by sacred indigenous chef, Grandma Katie Singing Eagle. Explore the vibrant energy of crystal gemstones with Allie Pratt from Organics Essence Gems and Gifts. This retreat is family-friendly with no alcohol or substances outside of 420. With a dedicated kiddo area and activities led by Shay Brown, everyone in the family can benefit from this healing experience. Thanks to our partnership with AJ Lardy of Operation Oscar Mike Inc., this retreat promises a supportive community atmosphere, especially for military vets looking for healing. Spaces are limited. Contact ChristoLight at 513-238-5580 for pricing and scheduling if needed. Visit the site on the flyer or the JotForm link in the description to register. Don't miss out on this transformative journey. One love.
I am the light, resurrected from the night. Had to pay that price to achieve new heights. Fight with all my might to enlighten my sight. We coasting with potion, high five to the ground, bitch. We chosen. CLE got the flow like the ocean. Can escape when your brain is eroded. We got that light. Chakras celebrate, bright. Check my triple sight. Yeah, you know we consciously. We got that light. Chakras celebrate, bright.
We got that light, chakras hella bright. All right. So now that our chakras are hella bright, let's go ahead and dive in to our first guides of this beautiful divine ray of light. Our first guide.
Detach from drama. Pallas Athena. You've been drawn into the upsetting world of human egos by focusing upon a drama. Although it's nothing more than a story, the drama feels frightening to you. This card comes to you as a helping hand in finding your way out of the story by detaching from the drama. Don't get pulled into the various plots, twists, turns, and characters of the drama. Instead, view it as a movie that you know will have a happy, or at least a resolved, ending. Of course, you'll have compassion for everyone involved, yet you don't have to let drama pull you down in any way. As you focus upon the positive, you bring about a positive resolution. Additional meanings for this card. Let go of attempts to make everyone happy. Allow others to make their own choices in life. Don't delay your life's purpose by focusing upon other people's issues. Avoid gossiping about or judging others. Pallas Athena is the Grecian goddess of wisdom who became the patroness of Athens in a contest with the ocean god Poseidon. The term Pallas is one often given to Greek deities, and her more common name is simply Athena. She's a war goddess who uses wisdom instead of weapons to win conflicts. Call upon Pallas Athena to help with any conflict or any situation calling for wisdom.
All right. So that's our first guide or ascended master of this golden ray. Then I'm going to read a little bit more for you guys about Pallas Athena, who is commonly known with the ancient Greek pantheon. So Pallas Athena is the goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, strategic warfare, mathematics, strength, strategy, the arts, crafts, and skill. She is known most specifically for her strategic skill in warfare and is often portrayed as companion of heroes and is the patron goddess of heroic endeavors. Athena is said to be born from Zeus after he experienced an enormous headache when she sprang fully grown in an armor from his forehead. She has no mother, but one of the most commonly cited stories is that Zeus lay with Metis, the goddess of crafty thought and wisdom, and then swallowed her whole as he feared she will give birth to a child more powerful than him because of a prophecy. But she had already conceived. When she leapt full grown from Zeus's head, the gods were awestruck by Athena's appearance, and even Helios, the god of the sun, stopped the chariot in the sky. It is recorded that she cried out loud with a mighty shout, and that the sky and the mother earth shuddered before her. Athena guided the hero Perseus in his quest to behead Medusa. She and Hermes, the god of travelers, appeared to Perseus as he set off on his quest and gifted him with tools he would need to kill the Gorgon. Athena gave Perseus a polished bronze shield to view Medusa's reflection rather than looking at her directly, and thereby avoid being turned to stone. That's pretty cool to think about. That's pretty fascinating when you think of the Medusa story. So then, when Perseus swung his blade to behead Medusa, Athena guided it, allowing his scythe to cut it clean off. Athena is also frequently shown in art, aiding the hero Hercules in the Odyssey. Audacious, cunning, and shrewd nature quickly won Athena's favor. So that is Pallas Athena of the Greek pantheon that we are familiar with. So one thing I also want to point out too from the audio is the remembrance that with this golden energy, that you're not in this world to only be subject to doing what others want you to do. You're not in this world, you're not born in this world to only be subject to what societal pressures tell you about what these corporations and what these people full of greed and self-righteousness want you to do according to them. And part of illuminating yourself with this golden ray energy is to know within yourself in a natural sense through the golden connection that is awakened within you that you were born on this planet to be a divine imprint, to be a divine embodiment of the Creator. And with that, you not only are that reflection or the image of the I am, as they say in the Bible, but you also have free will. And that's been stated in the Bible and many other texts as well, is that not only are you connected to and you are an evanescence of the God source creator, but you are also here to live with free will and choose how you would like to co-create your journey as a human being with this awareness of being the divine creator, experiencing itself through your own form. And when you emanate that, when you embody that, then you naturally have confidence. You naturally have a connection that you don't need to serve what doesn't feel right to you. You don't have to fall in line with other people's agendas, with other people's visions, but you can follow your own and you can own who you are and know that no matter what you choose, no matter what path you go down, no matter who it is that you please or don't please, you still have God and you still have the source. And that's what truly matters. So that's what that golden ray illumination is. You don't have to be codependent. You don't have to always caregive for others and put yourself last. You don't have to feel like, people can just emotionally sway you or mentally manipulate you because of what they want. But you can hold your bounds, stay illuminated in what feels good to you, and continue forward in your journey. So I just wanted to share that message. That's kind of something I got from that card audio about Athena. And, part of warfare, we typically think of warfare as like only a physical war, like the Middle East type of warfare. But warfare is, for me, it's pretty much anything that's out of balance. So, when we're out of balance with ourselves, then we're kind of battling. We're kind of going to war with our own self and trying to remain in balance or regain our balance. So, the war could be as simple as I'm having battles or I'm at war with the negative thought patterns I keep having, or I'm at war with these attachments that are trying to hold on to me and that I am holding on to as well. And when I go to war with it, all I'm saying is I'm wanting to eradicate it. I'm wanting to clear it so I can come back to a place of peace within myself. So we'll go ahead and continue, and we'll move into our next guides. And these guides are going to be
Helios and Vesta, God and Goddess of this solar system. Excerpts from the Masters in their retreats. Helios and Vesta, God and Goddess of the solar system. Profiles of the Ascended Masters. Helios is the god of this solar system and abides in the very heart of the physical sun. With his twin flame, Vesta, he serves to represent the Godhead to those evolving on the planet orbiting the sun. It is their God consciousness that sustains our physical solar system. Helios, the Lord of the Dawn, and Vesta, the Mother of the eternal cycle, are known as presiding solar deities and are the representatives of the Father-Mother God in the sun behind the sun of this solar system. Helios serves on the golden ray and his twin flame Vesta on the pink ray. Among the 12 solar hierarchies, they represent the hierarchy of Aries, the 3 o'clock line, to the evolutions of this system. This is the line of the Son of God, the only begotten one, and it is on this line that the Sun presence of Helios and the great central sun messengers focus the quality of God control, which they amplify by the power of the great central sun magnet. This magnet is the God control of the flow of life through us. the flow of the energy of the Logos. This is the quality we must outpicture under the hierarchy of Aries. The ancient Greeks knew Helios as the sun god. In Roman mythology, Vesta was worshipped as the goddess of the hearth. The Greeks knew her as Hestia. Each Roman and Greek household and city kept a fire burning perpetually in honor of Vesta. In Rome, the sacred fire in the temple of Vesta was tended by 6 priestesses called Vestal Virgins. Beloved Helios has told us, just as the tides of the sea flow in and out, so the tides of the eternal sun radiate in ever-recurring cycles. When the incoming tide of the great solar light pours into our world, it is God conveying His grace and gift to you. When the tide goes out, it is time for you to convey to Him your gratitude and your desire to become a very essential part of Him. Those that are eager to receive the light that is incoming, with its buoyancy, its joy, its power, often do not recognize the moment when life does not seem to be with them, as the moments when God is asking them to send love and supplication in His direction.
Oh, I didn't expect that to cut off. So yeah, that's our next twin flame couple, actually, that holds this golden ray, and is Helios and Lady Vesta, and they are the Roman representations of these gods or goddesses. So I'll read a little bit more for you guys. So Helios is also connected to the Greeks as well. But it says here, far on the eastern edge of the earth was the golden palace of Helios, the sun god. Every morning when the east was beginning to turn pink, the pink-footed Eos goddess of the dawn opened the golden gate, and Helios rode out of the gate on his golden chariot, which was drawn by 4 white, like snow, winged horses. Standing in the chariot, Helios was holding tightly the reins of his Ridios horses, and he shone with his blinding light, emitted by his golden long garment and radiant crown on his head. At first, its rays illuminated the highest peaks of the mountains. They began to glow as they were engulfed in fire. The chariot was rising higher and higher, and the rays of Helios poured onto the earth, giving it light, heat, and life. After Helios reached the heights of heaven, he began to slowly descend in his chariot to the western edge of the earth, where on the sacred waters of the ocean, a golden boat was waiting for him. Winged horses brought the chariot with the rider right into the boat, and Helios rode it along the underground river to the east in his golden palaces. There Helios rested at night. With the onset of the day, he again went out of his golden chariot to the heavenly expanses in order to give light and joy to the earth. And then we have Vesta, Lady Vesta. So Vesta is the goddess of hearth, home, and family. She was rarely depicted in human form. She was often represented by the fire of her temple in the Forum Romaneum. Entry to her temple was permitted only to her priestesses, the Vestals, who tended the sacred fire at the hearth in her temple. And she was considered a guardian of the Roman people. Her festival, the Vestalia, 7 to 15 of June, was regarded as one of the most important Roman holidays. During the Vestalia, matrons walked barefoot through the city to the sanctuary of the goddess, where they presented offerings of food. Such was Vesta's importance to the Roman religion that hers was one of the last republic pagan cults still active following the rise of Christianity, until it was forcefully disbanded by the Christian emperor Theodos I in AD 391. So They had this to say about the statue of Vesta's hearth, and they regard the fire as concentrated to Vesta because that goddess, being the earth and occupying the central position in the universe, kindles the celestial fires from herself. Ovid agreed, saying, Vesta is the same as the earth. Both have the perennial fire. The earth and the sacred fire are both symbolic of home. All right. So then we'll go ahead and move into our final guides for this 12th ray of the Golden Ray.
Teachings from Kutumi's hands, who is Sanat Kumara. The one who is known as Sanat Kumara is the head of the spiritual hierarchy for planet Earth. See who are the spiritual hierarchy. He has variously been called the One Initiator, the Eternal Youth of Endless Summers, the Fountainhead of the Will, the Ancient of Days, in the Bible, and the Lord of the World. Prior to coming to this planet, he had lived 900,000 lives throughout the universe, many of them as planetary saviors and lives of leadership for planetary civilizations. Approximately 18 million years ago, the Solar Logos, the creator of this system of planets, was considering the dissolution of planet Earth because the evolutionary progress of the planet and her life forms was going so poorly, and the planned advancements were not occurring. Sanat Kumara, who was the spiritual leader and lord of the world for the planet Venus, agreed to come to this planet to place it on an evolutionary path more commensurate with the plan of the Solar Logos. In passing, it should be said that the very advanced civilization on Venus was at a much higher dimensional level than can be seen by the telescopes of our astronomers. Out of loving compassion and in a sacrificial act of monumental magnitude, Sanat Kumara came to this dark and laggard planet 18 million years ago along with an entourage of 104 great beings who are called the Lords of the Flame in the occult literature of Master Jwal Kul. The spiritual hierarchy and Great White Brotherhood were formed at that time, and the focus of their presence and the center of their activity was called Shambhala, the White Island, in what was then the Gobi Sea and what is now the Gobi Desert of western China. Sanat Kumara could come no lower in physicality than the etheric level, and there remained in his etheric body. His immediate circle was comprised of 6 chimeras, 3 exoteric chimeras, or Buddhas of activity, and 3 esoteric chimeras about whom very little is known. The rest of the Lords of the Flame then made up the spiritual hierarchy of that time and served the purpose and the intentions and the plans of Sanat Kumara. The one who is called the Planetary Logos is the higher self of Sanat Kumara, the first Kumara, and that one is called the Silent Watcher and the Great Sacrifice. All of life on this planet is held within the aura and the consciousness of the Planetary Logos. The energies of the 7 rays are received by the Planetary Logos from the Solar Logos and passed on to Sanat Kumara for distribution to the Lords of the 7 rays in their departments, where they are qualified and transmuted for the benefit of all the kingdoms of nature on the planet and for furtherance of the evolutionary plan. The coming of Sanat Kumara produced an extraordinary stimulation in the evolutionary process by his methods of force distribution and greatly accelerated the evolution of all life on the planet. The germ of mind of animal man received stimulus and became a fit receptacle for self-conscious entities, souls, to incarnate in, and the human kingdom thus came into being, and the self-conscious, rational unit of humanity began its career. All of the other kingdoms of nature received similar extraordinary stimulation for advancement. Sanat Kumara established the path of initiation during mid-Atlantean times as the surest and most efficacious method for spiritual advancement of the sentient life on this planet, and that is the path followed by all whether they are aware of it consciously or not. He is called the One Initiator because he approves and oversees those stepwise advancements in consciousness called initiations. The World Teacher, Lord Kutumi, is the Hierophant at the first 2 initiations, although Sanat Kumara is there at a higher level. Then Sanat Kumara is the Hierophant beginning with the 3rd initiation, the Transfiguration, which is considered the first major initiation by the hierarchy. His rod of initiation is called the Flaming Diamond. I realize that this is a very brief introduction to the great being who has been with this planet for millions of years out of sacrifice and love for its evolutions, but in its brevity, I thought I could capture more attention and spread the word a little further about the magnificent one who has brought this darkened planet from near dissolution 18 million years ago to the very threshold of an era of peace, love, and harmony during which there will be stupendous achievements brought about by the human race. All of life on planet Earth owes a debt of gratitude to the eternal youth of endless summers. The name of Sanat Kumara. Having said all of this about the great cosmic being that we have come to know as Sanat Kumara, I would be remiss in the constant pursuit of full disclosure and dissemination of enlightening esoteric information if I did not make mention of the fact that Sanat Kumara is not his true name. The real name of this one and only extended expression from the informing life of planet Earth, in whom we all live and move and have our being, is one of the most carefully guarded secrets of this solar system, not just the evolutionary scheme known as Earth. The name is in a language unknown to any of the race of man and has such potency and power and evocative force that it must be considered as one of the most profoundly powerful mantrams in the system of planets, a mantram that invokes the destructive and creational effects of the first ray of divine will and power. Click link to the first ray. Ascended Masters, who are initiates of the 5th degree, are given only the first letter of the true name in revelation at the Ascension initiation, presided over by the one initiator, SK. Chans of the 7 rays and other 6th degree initiates are provided the second letter of the name. The great ones who form the membership of the Shambhala Council have been made aware of the first syllable of the ineffable name and no more, and this includes the highest of that mighty council, the 3 Buddhas of activity who form a triangulation of protective and assistive cosmic energy around the Lord of the world and who unwaveringly oversee that the divine purpose for this planet is incrementally formulated into the divine plan by the Great White Lodge of Adepts and Initiates. The true name is not to be revealed, however we may rest assured that the name we have been given has been approved by and references the one who lovingly holds the entire planet and all her life forms in his aura. Are you in need of the healing energies of the Ascended Master Kutumi? Visit kutumihands.com.
Wow. Such good in-depth knowledge for us to really ponder and receive when it comes to this golden ray. And with that, I'm going to read a little bit more about Sanat Kumara. It is known as both the Ancient Days and the Youth of 16 Summers. He performs the initiation ceremony for everyone who has reached the 3rd level of spiritual initiation. He's thought to be the head of the spiritual hierarchy on earth, who dwells in Shambhala, also known as the city of Enoch. According to the adherents to the Ascended Master teachings, Shambhala is a floating city manifested on the etheric plane, somewhere above the Gobi Desert in the borderlands of Mongolia. Many believe that Lord Sanat Kumara is the founder of the Great White Brotherhood, composed of masters of the ancient wisdom and volunteers from other realms who have joined together to advance spiritual evolution on Earth. He belongs to a group of the beings, the Lords of the Flame, whom Christian tradition has presented as Lucifer and the fallen angels. Oh, that's so funny. Wow. Of course, they would try to demonize some of our greatest ascended masters that we have through their Christianity and dogmatic religion. So funny how they do that. They did it with the Egyptians. They did it with so many different wonderful civilizations and masters. So that's funny. They compared him to Lucifer and the fallen angels. Wow. Sanat Kumara gained greater prominence when Blavatsky is Madame Blavatsky, which is I think she was either Russian or somewhere in Europe. She was the profound psychic back in the day that everybody knew about. So they're talking about her when her close friend and colleague, Charles Leadbeater, wrote that Sana Kumara was the king or the lord of the world and the head of the Great White Brotherhood of Madhamatas, who had revealed the principles of theosophy. That's pretty interesting. So they also say Sana Kumara is the same, maybe soul as Jesus or Yeshua, but they say that this is like the higher dimensional version of Yeshua. So let's see. The Lord Regent of Earth and the Karmic Board. So Sana Kumara has many assistants who help him in his arduous task of spiritually governing Earth as it presides. So you have the Watcher, also called the Silent Watcher or the Great Silent Watcher, whose function it is to continually watch the Akashic records, download daily all the information on them relevant to the life waves of Earth, and forward it to the custodian of the Hall of Records. Hey, Lulu. The Watcher is part of a special race of beings who fulfill this function that are posted on planets to the cosmos. The Lords of Karma. They mention 3 Lords of Karma, but did not name them. The Karmic Board stated to have 7 members: the Great Divine Director, the first ray; the Goddess of Liberty, the second ray; Lady Master Nada, the third ray; Cyclopia, fourth ray; Pallas Athena, the fifth ray; Lady Master Portia, sixth ray; and Kuan Yin, the seventh ray. The Karmic Board decides when souls that are between lives are to reincarnate again. If a dismembered soul desires to reincarnate somewhere or somewhen, also then where they have been assigned, they must file an appeal with the Karmic Board. Each person has to file an appeal to the member of the board that handles the appeal for your soul ray. Wow, that's what? No wonder why they make cartoons and movies about the afterlife and all these different little spiritual councils. And like, think of Star Wars, think of, Battlestar Galactica, you think of Star Trek, and you think of all these different movies and cartoons when they show these spiritual councils and all these different hierarchs and things like that. Makes a lot of sense. Comes from somewhere. And then you learn that movies and cartoons are nothing more than just expressions and reflections of the universe that we live in, because it comes from somewhere. So how fascinating is that, though? On a soul level, we can write appeals with the Karmic Board to basically remove karmic contracts. So the custodian of the Hall of Records is another position, called the Keeper of the Scrolls in the Ascended Master teachings. The being who is in charge of the Hall of Records, which is said to be an enormous administrative complex in Shambhala. This is where the records of everything that happens in everyone's life on Earth are kept. These records can be consulted by the Karmic Board if that soul makes an appeal before it. So that reminds me of like Thoth or Hermes. So we'll finish off here. Along with Maitreya, another Ascended Master, and Gautama Buddha, Master Sana Kumara participates in an annual ritual during the week of Wesak, the full moon coinciding with the birthday of the Buddha, during which spiritual energy is focused with the intention of balancing humanity's energy. Oof, wow. That is some good stuff. My eyes are getting blurry because of the vibration. Welcome in, Sandy. Grand rising to you. Golden Ray Love. Man, what beautiful guides for us to connect with this golden ray. So we got Helios and Vesta. We have Sana Kumara. You can also go ahead and add Buddha in there if you really want. But then we also have Pallas Athena. So that being said, let's go ahead and move into our final segment. And let's talk about a couple of crystals that you guys can use to help connect with this golden ray. So first crystal we're going to talk about is going to be tiger's eye. I know we all love a good tiger's eye. So tiger's eye is going to be our first crystal of the golden ray. Let's get our music back on a little bit. All right. So tiger's eye is a powerful stone that is known for grounding and protective properties. Courage, confidence, and mental clarity. Now there's many different colors that tiger's eye comes with, but for this instance, we're talking about the gold. But you can get gold, you can get red, you can get blue. So then it is also known for giving you foresight. It is also known with helping for courage, as well as integrity and discernment of taking action. So not only that, but it can also help you with your vitality and taking physical action. Now, what you can do is you can get a blue tiger's eye. And when you get a blue tiger's eye, like this beautiful tower here, you're then going to add in the blue ray qualities. So you get the gold and the blue ray. So you get that golden energy plus the blue. And the blue is going to help you with exerting your truth. It's going to help you with discernment. It's going to help you tap into more of your creative and spiritual side. And help you also with expressing and creating with your golden vital energy. I mean, this tiger's eye is a beauty. Oof. This is a blue tiger's eye. $18 too. Couldn't even believe it. So there's tiger's eye. Next crystal we're going to talk about is going to be pyrite. I'll actually go ahead and show you guys. So I have this copper wired pyrite that I'm wearing. And then when you wear pyrite with copper, or anything with copper, copper is going to amplify the properties of it. So when we read about pyrite and what pyrite represents, pyrite is known as fool's gold. It is known for attracting wealth, abundance, and good luck. I like to say good fortune. I don't really believe in luck. I like to see it as fortune and prosperity, because we are the ones that energetically put ourselves in the position that we are in our life. So it's really not luck, it's action. Action, cause and effect. We are the ones that co-create our universe. So it's believed to promote circulation and respiratory systems. It is known to help you against EMF frequencies, give you an energetic boost, and it can also give you a sense of inner strength and emotional support. And that is pyrite. So I'll give you guys one more crystal, and that is going to be the golden healer. I mean, that's one I definitely could not pass on. So the golden healer quartz is renowned for its powerful healing properties, for its physical recovery, emotional balance, and spiritual growth. It can accelerate healing of your wounds. It can help relieve pain. And this is muscle tension and headaches. It can also support overall health. So it can cleanse the body of toxins and help your immune system. It can also help you with emotional balance as it releases negative emotions such as anger and resentment, helping us with compassion and forgiveness, reduces stress and anxiety, and also improves focus and clarity. And then lastly, it mainly helps the solar plexus, power and confidence, helps you with spiritual connection to the higher realms, and it amplifies your intentions. And that is the Golden Healer Quartz. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close on out of this episode. And to close out, I'm going to play a little bit more sound just so we can clear up the space and close the cord. Receive these energy waves. Close out this way. I want to thank you guys for being a part of this episode, tuning in. Feel free to leave your comments. Feel free to leave feedback or add to the conversation, and I will keep it moving. So go ahead and relax. Relax your shoulders, your back nice and straight. Relax your jaw, your feet, your hands. Just focus on breathing, just letting go. Breathing in golden rays. Feeling the presence of our favorite guides today. Breathing the golden rays, taking in all of these properties that we talked about, and letting go of what it's not about. Let's take a moment, take a deep breath in. Unea se ushiki me anato maya natuko na e asunate me anakuta me anakote sana. All right. When you're ready, you may open your eyes and continue forward with your day. And again, I'd like to thank you all for being part of this episode. Tune in later today. Sandy Marshall, she'll be live for her Soul Awakening podcast that I will be producing. And she'll be talking about living the life consciously of karma and dharma. So it'll be a pretty interesting one to tune into for some deeper spiritual knowledge as well. Till then, we'll live again tomorrow. And I will see you guys at 9 a.m. for the 13th ray of light as we continue forward in this journey. And you're welcome, Sandy. Good to see that you're still here. All right. Many blessings to everybody. One love. our founder flames. This right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum. Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with ChristoLight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe.